Okay, you asked a question, must the WhatsApp broadcast list be done on WhatsApp Business? No, you can do it on the normal WhatsApp or WhatsApp Business. What about those that could not enter yesterday's Zoom training? For yesterday's Zoom training, I sent the recorded Zoom session to that class several times. If you're asking this question, it means you are not even following what was happening in the WhatsApp group. Please, yeah, Patricia, please, on that same WhatsApp group where you took your class yesterday, I sent two recorded Zoom sessions to the class yesterday. So please scroll back and go and see those things and catch up. Okay, let's talk about groups. The WhatsApp group is an excellent tool for communication, for teaching, and for training. And it is one tool that lecturers, universities, polytechnics, churches, pastors, everybody should be able to harness and start using to teach. It's also a tool you can use to keep your students together, inform them, and do a lot of things. But for us here, we are more concerned about using it as a tool to train others. And there's always a difference between WhatsApp group and broadcast list. In the WhatsApp group, you have you can add up to 250 persons or more, little more than that in your WhatsApp group. Your WhatsApp group, you can tell exactly who is following your training in your class. You can send pictures, you can send video to your class. You can time your class and decide to end your class when you want to end your class. You can mute your class, you can unmute your class. But in the case of a broadcast list, you cannot. Okay, now, in a WhatsApp group, if you say good morning to a WhatsApp group, everybody, if you have 200 people in your WhatsApp group, everybody can see your good morning and say good morning, and they will respond in their WhatsApp group. So everybody is responding, everybody can see each other's person's response to that good morning in a group. But in the case of a broadcast list, if you have 200 people on your broadcast list and you say good morning, those same 200 people can be in the same room, but might not even know that you sent them a broadcast list. So the next thing, once you just say good morning, and you have 200 people in the same group, in the same room, receiving your good morning from your broadcast list, the next thing you see, everybody will pick up their phone to respond to Mr. Osaze and say, good morning, good morning, good morning too, how are you doing? But none of you in that room, in that broadcast list that are in that room, we know that you actually got a message from me. So broadcast list is another way of saying sending bulk SMS. Yeah. So if you are sending a broadcast list, first of all, you need to save these people's number so that it will be easy for you to add them to the broadcast list. And people need to save your number for them to be able to read your message. Otherwise, if you send messages to your message or whatever to 200 people and they don't save your number, or they did not save your number, they cannot get your message. Understand that about broadcast list. Now, when you're creating a broadcast list, please take note of this. If you add people to your broadcast list, assuming you have 2,600 or 2,500 people in your contact, it means you can have up to 10 broadcast lists. If you decide to add every of your contact to your broadcast list, assuming they all have your number, this is what you do. Make sure you save every number you want to add. That aside, you may add you may even decide not to save them, because since you're adding everything, you can add numbers that are not saved. But they have to save your number to be able to get your message. If you start adding every number on your phone and get to 250, assuming 250 is your maximum, take a pen, write down the next number, 251, that you need to start the next broadcast list from. The reason is that if you don't do that and you add the last number to another broadcast list in error, maybe 2 or 3 times, it means the person will be getting your message 3 times for 3 different broadcast lists. The message might be long, might be videos, the person will get the same message 3 times, and it can be very annoying. So please always write down the phone number or the name of the next number you need to add to the next broadcast list. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. Please take note. Otherwise, your broadcast list might become a nuisance to such persons. Number 2, always remember that your broadcast list is made up of maybe people of different age category. You have very young people, old people, your age mates, your classmates, your lecturers, all in your broadcast list. So, and male and female too. So when you are sending messages to your broadcast list, please make your message such that it can go to all categories of persons, male, female, old, young, your age mates, and whatever. Take, for instance, you can just say, good morning. But if you say, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, it cannot go because your message is actually going to one person, even though it will end up getting to 250 persons. You're actually directing it to each person. So you just say, good morning. You cannot say, good morning, sir, because you have females in your broadcast list. Please always remember that. Very, very important that you remember that so that your message will come well customized. You cannot say, good morning. How are you doing? I hope I will see you this evening in my house. Well, don't forget that you might be talking to someone that is far, far older than you, 20, 30 years older than you. That message will not go down well with the person. But it might go down well with someone that is far younger than you. So your message must always be balanced. However, when we come back, we're going to look at why we need to use broadcast list and how we can use WhatsApp group to retain our students and how to market your WhatsApp group. Very important. For now, we'll just get ready for the break. And as soon as we go on break, just give us 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then click and come back to the group with the same link. Yeah, thank you. So for now, we can take questions. Jennifer Gadi. Okay, Jennifer Gadi, I'm sure you're from Benue. That's a very popular name, Benue. Between WhatsApp group, WhatsApp and Google Drive, which will you encourage or consider for teaching? Well, I think these are two different things. WhatsApp is a platform for passing across information, except you are talking about WhatsApp, Google Class. But I think you know what you are saying by saying Google Drive. We are referring to Google Drive we did yesterday. Now, Google Drive is more of just collating data, interacting with your students. So your materials you want to use to teach your students can be on your Google Drive so that they can just click on the link and study your material anytime. But in the case of WhatsApp, it is interactive. You can be talking to your students, chatting with your students. Your students can be responding. You can send them voice message. They can respond back to you with voice note. But Google Drive is just not too interactive. You use it to collect data. It's a form. You can get data from it. You can put your video on it, and people can watch your video, read your book, get your pictures. They might not be able to respond to you immediately. So while WhatsApp provides you with that platform, Google Drive provides you with a platform to get information from your students and interact with them and respond back to them. But in the case of WhatsApp, it's one-on-one, immediate, real-time. The only difference is that you're not seeing each other. In fact, in some cases, with some numbers, you can make video calls in the WhatsApp group and interact with every student in your WhatsApp group through a video call, and everybody can be together in that class. If the numbers are not much anyway, I think there's a fixed number for that. Jennifer, I hope I've answered your question. Are you there? Okay. Somebody else with question? If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Then when we come back, we'll look at the marketing aspect of WhatsApp group and training. Then we'll discuss about moving ahead for the practical session and what you'll be expecting. We'll be having another Zoom session for those people who will be in the practical session. Yeah, so by then, you are specific about teaching. Yeah, I understand about teaching. So when you say you are specific about teaching, you use WhatsApp group to teach. Yeah, use it to teach, but you cannot use Google Drive to teach. Yeah, you can use Google Drive to teach. You can use Google Drive to collect data, to send responses to students, to set questions for students. After teaching in the WhatsApp group, you can create their questions on Google Drive, bring the link to your WhatsApp group, give it to them in WhatsApp group, and they answer, click on the link, and you go and get the answers from Google Drive. I don't know if it's clearer now. Okay, you now understand. Fine, good. Thank you, sir, for this. So I'm so glad I'm able to join it. Lizzie, yeah. Please, sir, for those of us that unavailable missed yesterday's Zoom session, is it possible to get a recording of why are you asking about this? Aswai Neka. If you are in the WhatsApp group of yesterday, you should have seen that I sent the recorded version of creating Zoom to your WhatsApp group. So I'm surprised you are still asking about this now. Wow, this training is interactive and educative. Thank you very much, Priscilla. But the Google Classroom can be used to teach and share screen. No, please. You are talking of Zoom. We are using Zoom right now. And you should be able to use your Zoom to teach. Now I'm teaching you with Zoom. You can see me and I can see you for those of you that the videos are on. Yeah, so I'm teaching with Zoom right now. You are learning one or two things from me with Zoom. But you can't do that with Google Drive. Google Drive, you can collect data of your students. You can set exams for them. Except maybe there's an aspect of Google Drive I don't know about right now. But what I know that you can use with Google Drive is what I just told you. So you teach with your WhatsApp or your Telegram or your Zoom, then you set your questions on Google Drive, then you bring it back with a link to the Zoom, the Telegram, or your Zoom, and your students will click on it and do their test. And you issue your certificate. Issuing certificate also means that you need to go and design your certificate somewhere and issue it to them. Yeah. So all that. So you combine so many things to make your teaching very interesting. Your email is there. You're designing your certificate with CorelDRAW or maybe Poster My Wall and all that. They're all there together. So I think I've answered your question. Mercy. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Google Classroom. Okay. I don't use Google Classroom because in as much as it's nice, I don't use it because you also need to use a platform that is very easy for people to join and use, because it's not about you, it's about you getting the right response for people. So if you use a platform that people find difficult to navigate and work with, then your aim of teaching or getting people to learn from you will be defeated. So up to now, WhatsApp is still the easiest, the most accessible, and with billions of people using it. In fact, Google recently are thinking of working on their Google Classroom because it's not working. It's not working for a lot of people worldwide. And they are not getting good feedback. I may need more explanation regarding the broadcast list. Okay, maybe when we come back. Like I said, broadcast list can be created. It's just like sending the bulk SMS. And there's a video I sent to the WhatsApp group. I noticed that most people the biggest mistake you'll be making on WhatsApp group is not scrolling back to read messages. You just join the WhatsApp group. Probably you're at work, and the next thing you just come, open your WhatsApp, start reading from where you just opened. You don't bother to scroll back. That is why we are having cases like people asking for the recorded Zoom version of yesterday's program when it was actually posted in the class. Scroll back to yesterday's class and you see it. Yeah. Okay. Though I joined late, I'm enjoying the class. Thank you. It is an arm of Google Drive, sir. Okay, thank you very much. Of course. Of course. You have Google Class. You have so many things there. It's not really an arm of Google Drive. You have so many things there. You can, like I told you yesterday, there's a classroom for you to use on Google. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't use it because of the students I'm teaching. I'm using a platform that is accessible to everybody. Even an illiterate can use WhatsApp and just start learning with you. Somebody that cannot speak English can use WhatsApp and you can start teaching them in their language. But if you ask them to go and join a Google Classroom, manipulating and using it becomes a challenge for a lot of them. How will you know if your students and which of them have gone through your material? Just click on the message, highlight the message, and you see a dot. Click on those 3 dots on your right, and you see message. You see message info. Click on message info. You see everybody have read your message or watch your video or whatever. You can do that for video too. That is Ushebi Justin. We have less than just about 1 minute. So we get ready to come back to the class so that we'll do the final session of this training and the marketing, tell you about marketing. And yeah, just that. Okay, any other question? So that we can round off and get ready to come back. Any other question? Okay, no other question. Please, are we to do all the assignments you sent? I only sent you 2 assignments. Google, create a WhatsApp group and create a broadcast list. Just 2. Yeah, and only persons that create those assignments will move to the next class. And if you need to move to the next class, please, you need to get your certificate to move to the next class, because we are going to be dealing with very serious people. See you in the next WhatsApp group. Click on the link and come back to the Zoom class. We are signing out right now. Thank you. So the link I sent came as just 2